Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. This is the second video today. As I said, I will be upping my schedule to try and combat the censorship and the falling numbers channels, big and small, are facing. I thought maybe I'd work a bit more and do 2 videos a day. So this is a man. This will probably be a short video. We've got one clip to watch. This gentleman here, he's putting the world to rights. He is, I'm guessing, from Boston area. He has a Boston accent, and he is going to say, I can promise you this, he's going to say what exactly you're thinking in your mind. You're not alone. It's not just you. You're not crazy. And you have every right to ask these questions that he's going to ask and think the thoughts he is going to think. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, share this video around. That helps us stay competitive with the likes of CNN, MSNBC, and the like. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, let's hear what this scholar of Boston has to say.
And I want to preface this by saying I'm a dummy. Don't have millionaire parents, don't have a trust fund. I'm not as smart as Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, Kamala Harris, Marco Rubio. Go explain. Why is it that when I pay taxes to the US government, taxes which are supposed to be helping me and my community, which are supposed to be for the betterment of the American citizen, why are we sending it to Egypt, to Pakistan, to Thailand, to Nigeria? 4 billion to Central America. If I thought these people needed help, they live in bad countries, they need charity. Well, I'd donate to charity, wouldn't I? Are things really so great in America? We have money to burn. We couldn't find money for the wall, can't find money for our crumbling infrastructure, can't find money for rehab facilities for our opioid crisis. People starving in America every day. Can't find money for the education system. We can't even find $2,000 for people who lost their entire lives to coronavirus. $26 trillion in debt, $120 trillion in unfunded liabilities due to Social Security. You represent me. You represent my interests. So since I'm so dumb and you're so smart, could you explain how that's in my interest? Help me out, big guy, because I don't get it. Hey, so I got a little question, and I want to preface this by saying I'm a dummy. Don't have
Okay, so we're going back to the start now. So I'm going to play it again, and there's some very good points that I want to make in response to some of the things he has to say. So let's go. And it starts almost immediately.
So I got a little question, and I want to preface this by saying I'm a dummy.
No, you're not a dummy. You are far from a dummy. I am working class, just like you. You clearly have an American regional accent. I have an English regional accent. Those are things we have in common. You clearly haven't gone to university or higher education. I haven't gone to university or higher education. But you and me, but we'll talk about you here because I'm not vain and I am a moderate person. I don't have vanity, so we'll just talk about you. But you are much more intelligent than you think you are. Okay, you're not a dummy at all. You'll often find that people can be overeducated, which is a word that probably sounds like an idiom. It sounds oxymoronic, like how can you be overeducated? But I think some people, these professional students, they go beyond education and they start moving into the realms of indoctrination, okay, and brainwashing, right? And this is to the detriment of ordinary skills that you need, I need, anyone needs to exist in the world. This is where working class people such as yourself, young man, or I don't know if he's young, but man, gentleman, we'll call him gentleman. This is where you gentlemen come in, because you have learnt all these skills. So don't think you are a dummy, because you're not, and you've proven that by the questions you are asking, which come clearly from the thoughts you are thinking. You are a free thinker. Let's continue.
Don't have millionaire parents, don't have a trust fund. I'm not as smart as Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, Kamala Harris, Marco Rubio.
You see, they don't have smarts. What they have is low cunning. They have low cunning, ambition, admittedly, drive, zeal, focus, which are all good things. In fact, they're actually neutral things because they can be used for good or for bad. right? But it's not smarts they have, it's low cunning and friends in very high, swampy places.
Explain. Why is it that when I pay taxes to the U.S. government, taxes which are supposed to be helping me and my community, which are supposed to be for the betterment of the American citizen, why are we sending it to Egypt, to Pakistan, to Thailand?
Because, you know, for example, under the Obama administration, when Joe Biden was point man in Ukraine, what happens is, there's not just one point man in one country, there are point men or women all over the planet. When a specific amount of money, your tax money that you worked for, is allocated to these shady, dark money NGOs, or what we call quangos, non-government organisations, the point men skim from it. Have you ever wondered why they had such a visceral response to Donald Trump, who was an outsider from the swamp? He stopped them from skimming off of the top. This is why your money goes to such bizarre places. You're told that there is no money for you, yet they'll find money for the most bizarre program in a country, a tiny former Soviet bloc country like Uzbekistan or Turkmenistan, Tajikistan. These are all real countries, but most people have never heard of them. Most people would have never heard of Kazakhstan if it wasn't for the Borat film. And you wonder why these out-of-the-way places are getting your money. Because there's a point man or point woman in each one. And that is an American, or if it's here with a British government, British overseas aid, it'll be a British government official. Them and their families will skim off the top. That's why. There is no skimming off the top when they're building libraries for you. They would run on a platform of saying they're going to build you a library. They're going to build you and your family swimming pools. They're going to build you and your family infrastructure and amenities. But there is no skimming off the top in Boston. In Massachusetts. There is none. They're skimming off the top in Ukraine. And that's why point men get put there. And that's why Western money goes there.
To Nigeria, $4 billion to Central America. If I thought these people needed help, they live in bad countries, they need charity. Well, I'd donate to charity, wouldn't I? Are things really so great in America we have money to burn? We couldn't find money for the wall, can't find money for our crumbling infrastructure, can't find money for rehab facilities for our opioid crisis. People starving in America every day, can't find money for the education system. We can't even find $2,000 for people.
I'd have to disagree with him there. I would say the education system is overfunded. And only because it's terribly inefficient. Inner city schools, you've got to at least commend them for trying, but they're trying, in inner city schools, in these urban schools, they're trying to teach youngsters who don't want to learn. That's the thing, they have no interest in learning anything. But they've got to try and teach them anyway. So I would argue that the education system has enough funding, it's just not being allocated correctly.
People lost their entire lives to coronavirus. $26 trillion in debt, $120 trillion in unfunded liabilities due to Social Security.
Now this is the thing. He's dead right when he says about the Rona, people have lost everything. Isn't it funny how, for example, Obama, when he put that cash, billions of US dollars in cash, cold hard cash, were loaded onto US Air Force planes and delivered to Iran. There's some point man there who got a very big payday. And what do you think the Iranians did with that money? They just divvied it up among themselves, which they do. And it's the same everywhere. Yet, how long has it taken them to pass the bill to get $600 of your own money into your own pockets over the Rona situation? It took them 7 months. And many people still haven't got the money. It took them 7 days. 7 hours, wasn't it? To issue the impeachment, the second impeachment of Donald Trump, the articles of impeachment. It took them 7 hours. And it's taken them 7 months to give you $600 of your own money. You see, their backsides only start moving when something benefits themselves. This is why they were so drastically opposed to Donald Trump, because he was for you.
You represent me. You represent my interests. So since I'm so dumb and you're so smart, could you explain how that's in my interest? Help me out, big guy, because I don't get it. Hey, so I got a little question.
Okay, so that's the end of the clip. And if he is sincere in wanting answers from the swamp politicians who are now back in control of everything, let me tell you this, young man, or gentleman, as I said earlier. The sun will rise in the west and set in the east. The mountains will fall and the oceans will rise before you get an answer, satisfactory or not, from the swamp politicians. Anyway, I thought I'd make this video on this man because I was deeply impressed with him. I was impressed with his foresight, his zeal, and the fact that he is clearly wide awake. So I wanted to show you guys this because I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not the only one who's waking up. You're not the only one who is asking questions that need to be asked, that the powers that be don't want to be asked, but they do need to be asked. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video around. That'll really help me stay competitive with the likes of CNN and MSNBC. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.